What's up? Pick Central Friday. Smitty from a location unknown. Clemmer. Brought to you by Cars.com. Cars.com is a leading digital marketplace that connects car shoppers with their perfect car, celebrating 25 years of helping shoppers research, find inventory, finance, and sell cars wherever life takes you next and whoever you're looking to be. There's a car for that on Cars.com. Up to 50,000 cars are added daily to Cars.com. Shop over 2 million cars for 2 million possibilities. Very difficult to get a lease right now. Very difficult to go outside the box. Trust the people that you know. Cars.com is the way to go. Find your next possibility on Cars.com. Where to next? Let's start with the Buffalo Bills. Was that a convincing enough performance? Because they were up the 2 scores, dominated pretty much start to finish, I want to say, and then they got backdoored late, and that with that Fugazi touchdown. Obviously, it's weird because the Bucs did have a chance to win on a miracle. But did you like what you saw from the Bills, Clemmer?
I did. I actually did. I know gamblers got fucked there if you took the Bills, and that sucks. But from a NFL perspective, from a football perspective, the Bills dominated that game enough for me. The real question, the thing I walked away was the Bucs offense is a problem.
I have said I don't think they're very good.
No, I know. The last 3 games though have been it's a problem, and it's Baker Mayfield. I know Marty's not here, but it's a Baker Mayfield issue too. The team's just not that good.
Yeah, you know what his ceiling's going to be. He's never.
Yeah, right.
That's it. He's mid-level at best, so that's where it's going to be.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very mid quarterback.
He is.
Like if you look at the stat line, it's 237 yards, no picks though, 2 touchdowns. It's like. You kind of have to bank on your defense if you have a quarterback like that. I think you nailed that, Rico.
Yep. Smitty, what did you take away from that?
Sorry.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, you can just come in and give a spark, and Nick Foles is your way to maybe a playoff run if you really need it.
Let's start that one again from the top.
Baker Mayfield is evolving into the perfect backup quarterback. Just a guy that can come in, give you a spark, maybe lead you to a couple wins, somebody you might be able to trust in the playoffs like Nick Foles down the line. But he's a perfect spark guy. He's a game time guy. He's an Xbox guy. That's what you got for Baker Mayfield. No, that's not a convincing win for the Bills at all. They had an opportunity to dick down an inferior team and instead let them backdoor cover through 2 4th and longs on that touchdown drive, and it still even came down to the last play. No, it's not convincing. They have an opportunity to just absolutely demolish teams like these, especially at home, and they can't do it.
Right.
And if you want to be a contender, if you want to be that team, especially when you're struggling and all eyes are on you, you need to be able to do that. They're not.
All right, so then I'm going to pose this question. Where do you put the Bills in the AFC? And I've done this where I go, oh, well, you can't put them ahead of the Dolphins. You know what? Or, I'm sorry, you can't put them behind the Dolphins. Yes, you can, because I think everybody gets that fluke-type game. Like, do I think the Dolphins are 50 points better than who they beat, the Broncos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. I do think the Dolphins might be 50 points better than the Broncos.
That's an indictment on the Broncos, though.
But they're definitely, let's say, 30 points better. But 50 is an anomaly. The same way that I don't think the Bills are better than the Dolphins. So let's make that the Dolphins' throwaway game. Everybody has one of those games where you look at the course of the 17 games of the season, you're like, what the fuck happened? I think the Eagles already had their game. They should not have lost to the Jets. That's a bizarre loss.
Nah.
Everyone has those weird losses. I'm going to rule that off and say that was the Dolphins' weird loss.
Okay.
So I'm putting the Dolphins ahead of the Bills.
Okay.
Obviously, we got the Chiefs. Obviously, we got the Ravens. I'm going to put the Dolphins.
And the Jags beat the Bills.
And the Jags, I'm going to put. So at least 5th now. You're talking about Buffalo being 5th.
I got to say, too,
Look,
I'm not.
At least.
I'm high on the Bengals.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Coming off the bye now.
there yet with the Bengals.
They're playing a lot better. Burrow looks healthy again. I don't know. I like the Bengals a lot.
And they're not.
Look,
they're not great, but the Chargers can be in that mix as well. Like,
this game, I don't know
2 and
why
4,
it
Rico.
scares me for the Chargers. The Bears coming in, who like absolutely put a whooping on the Commanders away and are found life under this kid from Shepherd, whose dad's an arm wrestling champion. Something stinks here with the Bears coming into Chargers and the Chargers having a must-win game. You got the Chiefs and everybody else in the AFC.
That's
the
fair.
Bills and the Dolphins are the same caliber team, Michael. You can't trust them against anybody. You got the Jags, who are like kind of in between the Chiefs and that. And then the Ravens, who, yeah, they absolutely spanked the Lions, but they still have to prove it in my mind that they can play that way consistently.
Yeah, but I
still put them above the Bills and the
I think the Ravens are the clear two. And if you look the way that the Chiefs are built, when the Ravens offense gets going, it obviously, it gets going, but they got a defense that you can trust as well. It's not, it's two sides of the ball. I think it's very strong. I think the Ravens are really, really up there in terms of Super Bowl contenders.
I think we're all on the same page.
Jags, Ravens, neutral field. Who are you taking?
Ravens.
Ravens.
I think I'm taking the Jags.
I understand that.
I mean, it's weird. I wasn't in on the Jags, and I wasn't in on Lawrence. I said he's not like the elite yet. He's not in that club yet. But yeah, you could talk me into the Jaguars being a Super Bowl type team.
Where are we with the Steelers?
Yeah, wait. I have a question for you guys as guests going off that, Clement, really quick with the Steelers.
Above average.
Not as a legitimate AFC contenders, but just going down the AFC list really quick. Which teams do you think could beat the Bills? Because the Steelers are the first team I thought of. Like, I'm not sure if they're talented as the Bills, but I think I take the Steelers to win that game.
Against the Bills?
Yeah.
I can see them imposing their will. Yeah.
Yeah, especially at home with that defense.
So Kansas City, if you just say yes for who would win, Kansas City, would the Bills beat? No?
No.
Dolphins.
Well, they already did, but I don't know if they will again.
Ravens.
No.
Jags.
Maybe.
Steelers.
Yeah.
Browns.
50-50. Yeah.
Yeah, I think even the Browns is a toss-up.
Browns has a good defense. So.
Texans,
We've
Jets,
seen-
Bengals. It's not like they're clear above anybody
No.
anymore.
Nope.
They lost to the Patriots. Are we forgetting about that?
Yeah.
I take the Bengals right now over the Bills.
Same.
I'm really high in the Bengals.
I think the Bengals need to rattle off 4 or 5 in a row for me.
3 in a row, right?
Yeah, to get yeah.
And off a bye.
I know. But yeah, I mean the Bills, it didn't show me a lot. The Bucks, that NFC South is always going to be a fucking the Bucks are not out of it in that NFC South.
Oh, they're a game back.
Bloodbath of a division. Bloodbath. I think the Saints are not out of it, even as bad as they looked.
No, they're a game back too.
Yeah,
the only team out of it is Carolina. I mean, Atlanta's 4-3. It's not like it's impossible to.
Yeah. Everybody's in the mix there.
Except for Carolina.
It's a bad division.
It's a huge game for Atlanta this week to separate themselves.
Who do they have?
They're like almost a pick 'em with somebody.
Tennessee, in Tennessee.
Yes, Tennessee -2.5 right now going into Tennessee.
Seems like
that's a big game.
Big game.
Big game for
and Atlanta. That was the
game
thing
for both teams, really. Tennessee wants any hope.
That was the thing last year when I kept taking Atlanta to win that division because they kept hanging around and hanging around. Mm-hmm. They couldn't go win these games. I think they had like Carolina who stunk last year, and they couldn't win that one on a Thursday night. They had a stupid penalty against Commanders. Or a dumbass game. I watched that. Maybe it was the Browns. I don't know. The Falcons are a bloodbath too. Like they're just a mess.
If the Chargers lose this weekend, they fucked. They're 2-4 right now. They go to 2-5.
Yes. If they lose at home against the Bears, they are fucked.
And Smitty,
and I gotta tell you, I think the Bears are going to give them a fight.
Well, it's probably number 1 in Survivor too, Smitty.
Oh yeah,
which we know how that
over
goes.
50% is going to be on the chart because this is the only game you can take the Chargers and quote feel comfortable the rest of the way.
And that's always a scary, scary element. And I said it too, like the Chargers and Saints over the years seem like a horrific Survivor team for me.
Yeah,
they are.
You're sitting there at 4:00 on a 4:00 game watching the Chargers play a shit Broncos team, and here they go and they lose again.
You just never know what you're gonna get with the Chargers. They always, they always like surprise you, bad and good.
Yeah,
yeah. The only thing that's going for the Chargers right now, in my mind, is, and it's the only thing, is that it is a must-win game for them. They can't drop the 2-5 at home against the Bears.
No,
they just
it'd be a death sentence. Be a big win for it'd be a big loss by the Chargers for teams like the Jets and the Browns and those teams in the mix like that. So,
like, you want to talk about fireable game? Like, that's a fireable game if they go down and Staley is anything to blame for that.
I agree, Smitty.
Yes.
I mean, after the playoff disaster last year, like this guy's got to be on fumes right now as far as job security goes.
I'll give you one. If you're the Chargers, would you take a look at Lincoln Riley?
Why?
Good quarterback success. He'd have Justin Herbert.
Zero defense. Zero.
I think it's
Less
different in the
than zero.
NFL. I think it's different in the NFL.
I'm just throwing names. I'm throwing names out. It fits. He's already out there.
That's a move you make, I think, in the offseason.
Yeah,
right?
they wouldn't make it now. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying now.
Right. So
Like,
you're saying in the offseason.
end of next season.
All right.
The Chargers
They
are now
would-
looking at, like, are we wasting Herbert's time? What do we do?
Yeah.
Would they go Lincoln Riley?
Now,
They would need a defensive coordinator like a Wade Phillips or an old Jim Johnson to come in and just be the head coach of the defense.
Sean
Yeah.
McDermott.
It's a
I
possibility.
don't even know if he's.
Rico, healthy debate here. Can the Chargers even outbid USC for a head coach?
Maybe not. But I think I don't know if USC wants to. I'm just
Hypothetical?
I'm throwing out names.
I'll throw one
and
out.
he's out of the league too. Does Kingsbury have a job?
I think he's taking over. I think he has permission to be an assistant coach with USC right now when Lincoln Riley's sick.
No, he's definitely a contender for that job.
Kingsbury is sitting shirtless by the pool.
No,
Just
yeah.
drinking
No,
it.
I'm saying-
he's with USC.
He's with USC.
Yeah, from what I saw, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying
Unless I got duped.
I'm saying put Kingsbury as the quarterback coach as well. Let's go all in on a guy like Justin Herbert.
Oh, you mean not the head coach? You mean
I would still have Lincoln Riley as a head coach.
Who would you rather have
Okay.
as the Chargers head coach? Bill Belichick or Lincoln Riley?
Belichick.
Okay.
I'd stay with Belichick would demand he have GM rights.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the problem.
You said it like their GM is good.
I think there's some talent in that team. Patriots.
Who does the chat like? Who's the chat? Does the chat think Lincoln Riley's dumb? Who's the chat want for a Chargers coach? But yeah, lots to unpack there. So we'll get back to the NFL. Spend some time on baseball. I know you guys are both obviously big on the baseball.
We got NBA action too, Rico. Did you see that call last night?
I did
That
not.
Giannis?
I did
Oh
not.
man, Rico.
I did not.
Rico.
I did not. I'm not dialed into the NBA just yet. What was the call?
Yeah, but this isn't this isn't an NBA. This is an all-encompassing referee call.
Okay,
And
what happened?
I know
I
that
missed it
you
as
were
well.
dialed in. I don't even know if we could pull it up, but it's a fourth quarter.
We can.
Giannis and Embiid are backing each other down, or Giannis is backing down Embiid, shoots, misses off the rim, gets the rebound, puts it up. It clearly goes over the backboard, and he catches it. What's the call? Didn't hit backboard, didn't hit rim. He throws it up, it goes over the rim, and he catches it himself. Giannis throws it up, and then he catches it.
All right, hold on. He I think he meant over the backboard. He took his own shot and got
Yes.
the ball.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an attempt, and you are no, it's not. You're allowed to get that ball
In what universe?
in every universe. It's a shot attempt.
It's if
You can take a shot. Everyone thinks, here's the problem, because in the parks, people like self-pass. Self-pass is obviously the stupid thing you do when I get trapped one-on-one here and I throw it over your head. Like this,
Right.
over your head, like stupid shit. That's a self-pass. That's a walk. As long as you take a true shot attempt from the three-point line, you can airball it and go catch it yourself. Factual.
So you're saying it's the intent.
Yes, as long as it's a shot. And that's where it gets hairy if you airball it from 3 feet. Like, you airball it from 3 feet and go catch it a foot away. I'm telling you. What did they rule? They ruled.
they ruled it A-OK, and it got pumped out to Dame, and Dame hit a three-pointer, and of course the Sixers lost by one.
It's the right
But
call.
I don't know if you're right about that. Rico, I bow before you and your CYO reffing knowledge through.
That's a high
NBA.
school rule. But, yeah, it's the correct call.
Okay, well then why did the refs come out and clarify that it wasn't a shot attempt? It slipped out of his hands, which is egregious. It was a shot attempt. Why would they need to clarify that?
I don't know. That throws
Yeah.
that throws a wrinkle into the mix. That throws a wrinkle into the mix.
Was the intent clear on the shot, Smitty? Was it obviously a shot?
Yeah, I mean, if Dukes can put it up for you guys without
Do
putting
you guys? I could get Meek in there right now and show your guys' ass.
I mean, it was a shot around the rim. It goes up, it goes over the rim. It doesn't touch anything, and he catches it himself. I've never not seen that called a travel. Put it that way.
If you can't watch it and you're in the chat right now, take the time to go to Twitter, look it up. Meek's showing them right now.
And I vowed to.
It hit the rim, Smitty. It hit the fucking rim.
It did not hit the rim. The second shot.
The second one. Okay. God damn it.
And I vowed to stay off the comments in the chat until my
That's a shot attempt.
And I'm back.
That is a shot attempt. That's a shot attempt.
On the chat. Okay, it's a shot attempt. If I'm unfamiliar with the rule, and if all of Twitter's wrong.
Yeah, I'm working on some calls. But that's a shot attempt in my eyes. So I have no problem with it. Sucks for you. And also I love how you're like, dialed into the NBA. You're dialed into the Sixers.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as he said Embiid,
that's right.
You ain't watching the Bucks versus the Magic on the League Pass, Smitty.
I watched the Celtics the other night, too.
A spade, asshole.
Hey, I got the League Pass. I'll put it out there once we start getting cooking a little bit. But, I mean, it's opening night last night. Of course we're going to keep the Sixers.
So the Sixers lost by 1. You think Harden would have helped a little bit there?
No, I think actually this game proved that Harden would be an absolute disaster to this team. Kelly Oubre put up 25 plus last night. Tyrese Maxey put up 31, I think. Like, this team was cooking. Patrick Beverly off the bench, great addition. Like, this team was cooking last night against one of the consensus NBA favorites and only lost by 1. I think it would be a disaster bringing James
So you
Harden
want
back.
him to stay away until he's traded, kind of like what the team's doing. The team's like, no, you're not welcome here, buddy.
Yeah, and I'm not saying the Sixers can win at all with this talent.
Right.
I'm just saying that they're probably going to be better off, especially if they get any sort of return for Harden. That would help.
Not trying to derail, but just going off bad calls. Did you guys see the Marty versus Francis clip in one-on-one basketball?
I saw it in real time.
Rico, Smitty, did you guys see it? I could pull it up.
I did, yeah. Pull that up.
What was your guys' thoughts? Did you guys think? Would you guys have made the call? Just curious. Did you guys think it was a foul?
I love Francis, but that was ticky-tack at best. Marty was in the right there, I thought. I saw nothing. I saw nothing wrong there. I mean, Francis was out there hustling, trying to but we probably needed a ref, I guess, at that point.
I needed to see the foot race. I only saw the highlights. I didn't watch the full video. I need to see the foot race between you and Ev. Did Ev even run?
No, Ev didn't run.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And we played a basketball.
Did he walk?
Yeah, he walked. Yeah, kind of strutted.
Okay, that's an attempt.
It's an attempt? No, it wasn't. I mean, he just
makes sense.
He didn't. It was frustrating because he definitely whooped my ass in the pass, punt, and kick. He definitely beat me in the kick for sure. But playing basketball at a 3, it's just so frustrating. It's just like, what are we doing here? I never played a basketball game till 3. I guess I'm not very good. I played to 11. I don't know.
I played a game to 1 against Brent Barry, and me and my brother won. So
congratulations.
1-3. I don't. As long as it's you can play to whatever you want.
Yeah, you let the boys play.
Let the boys play.
Francis calling a foul 101.
That was ridiculous.
It's got to be blood.
I love Francis, but that was. I don't even think Marty even really touched him that much. But I get it.
That's tough. That's tough.
Marty looking.
You called a foul on that?
Yes.
Jesus. Toughen up, dude. You got the full shot attempt. You're a foot away. Yeah. That's tough. All right.
Marty with that hair looks like he's selling former. Can't call him that anymore. Tank tops on the Wildwood Boardwalk.
I didn't say it, but somebody said that was the worst foul of the day. Was that Marty had to take off his hat. I was like,
yeah.
I didn't say it, but it was a commenter. Did not say it.
I'm trying to find MVP.
Give Marty a
Here we
compliment. He
go.
looks very good with a hat on.
All right. World Series. What are you guys thinking big picture? What are you thinking in all seriousness? Am I a little too high on the fact that Gallen didn't look great in the NLCS, but comes back to the norm and does what he did all year, going against Evaldi, who absolutely has shoved these playoffs? What are your takeaways in Game 1? What are your takeaways big picture? Are you looking at series prices? MVP odds, you got Garcia at 5-1, Seager at 5-1, Corbin Carroll 10-1, Ketel Marte 10-1. Gallen goes all the way down to 16-1. Evaldi at 16-1. Like, could you see that? Could you see a pitcher making their move?
Tough for pitchers to win nowadays when they only start 2 games instead of 3.
Yeah.
So I think this could be a difficult game for Gallen. So I'm on the Diamondbacks because the price is too good. If it was a push, let's say minus 110 for each, I'd probably maybe lean on the Rangers. But the Diamondbacks at plus 140 is I think a great play. I will say the Diamondbacks could lose this game. My issue with Gallen is he's a control guy, so he's going to be around the plate, and that's a terrible matchup against a team that has great power like the Rangers do. Eovaldi also has been fantastic. My bet for today is over on outs for both Eovaldi and Gallen. Over 15.5 outs. So he's going to need to get one out in the sixth. I think for Gallen, it's plus money. It's plus 110. For Eovaldi, it's minus 120. Both guys have gotten 16 outs in all but one of their starts. Eovaldi in all of his. I do think the Rangers. My issue with the Rangers is this: they have two Achilles heels that the Diamondbacks don't have. The Rangers have a horrible bullpen, and then the Rangers have Max Scherzer. And those two things could derail a series entirely.
But you say they have a horrible bullpen, but they've absolutely stepped up and gassed throughout the entire playoffs. And Scherzer, compared to what they were doing during the regular season, especially in the beginning,
but who do you trust in that pen? Do you trust Chapman? Do you trust Leclerc? And then they have three guys that used to be starters. Heaney, Martin Perez, Dane Dunning. And they're going to need some of those guys in that fourth game, which is going to be a bullpen game. I really worry about, Josh Sproles. Is he a guy that you're going to I'm going to lean on him? This isn't Mariano Rivera and Mike Stanton and, Jeff Nelson. And I think the Diamondbacks have a pretty big edge there. Ginkel and Seawald, that's been locked down all playoffs. I just have a lot more faith in that bullpen.
Yeah, all playoffs, but before that, other than those two guys, they weren't doing much. Even the staff outside of Kelly and Gallen, but in the playoffs, they've been doing it. And
but that's the difference between the playoffs regular season here, and this is why I think playoff managing matters, is that your bullpen is different in the playoffs. You have it's less people to draw from in theory. You don't need to worry about having your eighth guy in the bullpen matters in the regular season. It's not going to matter in the playoffs. And the Diamondbacks don't have a ton of depth, but the guys they have are better than the guys the Rangers have.
You can't argue with you because
I'm right.
No, because no matter what happens throughout the series, you're leaving yourself open to interpretation.
What do you mean? What's the issue?
Well, the issue is you kind of said the same thing with the Diamondbacks going into this series, saying that their bullpen is weak, it's done, and now the Diamondbacks bullpen shoves because they did it once.
I don't remember saying the Diamondbacks bullpen was weak. At all. Seawald's been a nice addition, and Ginkel's been good. You get so mad, Smitty, and you were pounding your chair about pedigree with the Astros. Just take the L and move on, buddy. It's gonna be okay.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be all right.
Oh my God, you're cherry pick.
I'm not cherry picking. I literally said there's two things I think the Diamondbacks. It's not cherry picking. I'm naming reasons I think the Diamondbacks have potentially an edge here. I don't have a clear pick on this series. I'll say that. These teams are very evenly matched. I'm really excited for this series. I put money on the Diamondbacks.
If I had to put money, I'd go Rangers in 6, but I have no faith in that whatsoever. I will not be putting money on it. The only thing I am putting money on right now is tonight's under 8.5. I think both absolutely shove tonight.
I'm with you.
And I think it's a 4-2 game.
I think you're right, Smitty.
Yeah. Either way. Could be either way.
That over-under seemed really high to me, too. I'm not going to place a bet on it because I worry about that Rangers bullpen a lot. But I think you're right, Smitty. I was surprised to see that line that high.
Are these the coincidences?
So our ace hit a bird in 2001, our ace hit a bird in 2023. All of the dates of the World Series games, these are the same dates as 2023. The All-Star game was in Seattle 2001 and 2003. George Bush threw the first pitch in 2001 and 2023.
I don't care about any of that.
I know you don't care about that. It's more for Rico and Smith in the chat.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would that have relevance to where you put your money on?
It does.
It's fun that you've been around for sports. I watched that 2000.
Oh yeah, no, it's an interesting thing, but as far as placing a bet, that is it's a fun footnote. But
it's a coincidence.
And also, George Bush didn't put out the first pitch in 2023. George Bush is dead. George W. Bush.
That's exactly right.
Also, Clemmer, what are the odds that in 2001 and 2003 an ace pitcher hits a bird?
I don't know.
That's insane to me.
But yeah, I guess. But I just don't know. I hope that that's fun. It's certainly a fun thing to read in a book or see a tweet. That's a funny tweet. But to place a bet though, I hope.
I'm so happy you admitted it. It's at least fun. It's a fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun.
Oh yeah, of course it is. I love sports. I love baseball. I love that shit. But as far as if we're
having fun.
if we're talking about placing bets though, that has no relevance.
I'm not telling you, place a bet because I showed you a stat.
Right.
I'm saying this is a very cool stat.
Oh, absolutely. It's yeah, especially the dates thing is fun because in 2001 that was obviously a huge tragedy that happens there, and then now it's just because the playoffs are expanded. That's kind of weird.
Also, if we're talking to 2001 World Series, I want to get to Puerto Rico. Is Mr. November the worst nickname in the history of sports?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Because they didn't even win the World Series that year.
He did have a pretty big walk-off.
But they didn't win anything.
I know, but they called him out after the walk-off. It wasn't after the series. You had to be in the moment. I know you were 4.
I don't care about the moment. It doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, because you weren't alive for it. But when he hit a walk-off, and I hated the Yankees.
And then you lose the next 2 games.
I know, but
Yeah,
when it
tough.
happened in that moment, they said Mr. November.
Yeah, it's almost as bad.
Home run.
It's almost as bad as putting an iconic image on a T-shirt of a guy stepping over somebody, and you won game 1 of an NBA Finals, and then you go out and get your doors blown off for the next 4.
Right? All right.
But it fits.
All right.
Fictional
It
boxes.
was an iconic kid. He was the only player worth a damn on that team versus an absolute juggernaut Lakers squad
I also
that did not lose a single game up until that point in the playoffs.
I want a little clarification. One of a commenter or a Twitter guy, or maybe I got a DM. They said, Rico, can you please clarify when you talk about Philly making a movie about a special teams player? They wanted clarification if I was talking about Invincible or the trash-kicking field goal miracle, whatever, with Tony Danza. So you guys have 2 movies. So for now, I have.
First of all, you got to get it right. The garbage picking, field goal kicking Philadelphia phenomenon.
Right.
That is the correct term, and you better watch it before Tony Danza takes away your girl too. 'Cause that's what he does. And second of all, I find it a badge of honor that Philadelphia is such a great sports town that we all not only have movies about great things like fictional boxing characters winning heavyweight titles, but the low-level special teams players from football teams.
There you go. So
And it makes it work.
I also just want to add to this stat. I will be placing a bet on the Diamondbacks to win the World Series.
nice.
All right. Well, I am too. So
I think that this put me over the edge. Just
I
gonna be
think I
fun.
got him. Yeah, I placed it on October 7th, so it probably was after the wild card, but I got him at 850.
Fuck yeah.
Should have got him a little bit more, obviously. We were on him a year ago. Hindsight's 2020. It is. What it is.
100. I saw $100 bet before the season for
185
Rangers
grand.
Diamondbacks. 185 grand.
Oh my god! You would have got
really?
Well, let's
Can you imagine
think
that?
tank.
One bet of a parlay, you get Phil's salary for the year.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, bro.
Like, if you think tank that, and maybe next year baseball, who 2 teams have the opportunity to do that? Maybe the Reds.
Yeah. Yes.
Like who would be that team?
Yeah.
The Reds, the Cubs, but it is bad.
But the Cubs are almost public at this point, where they'll never be priced that low.
Right.
The Reds, I guess it depends how Andrew Abbott can shake out.
Oh, that Reds divisional future died so fast. It got so hot, and it just died so fast. But yeah, I think the Reds could be a sleeper for the World Series next year, without a doubt.
Are you going to take them?
Probably. Yeah, I think they're live.
If Hunter Green can level up and Andrew Abbott can pitch really well, maybe they go out and sign a couple free agents. That's not out of the realm. They were only 3-4 games back.
Yeah. In terms of props for this series, you got a bunch of different things. Also, real quick, Smitty, the rules different in the NBA. That's why they clarified it.
Okay, that's fair.
So, but that again, I know high school and college in and out. NBA gets a little wonky with the different things that are going on. So
I can't remember seeing a shot go up and caught where it's not called a travel, because you know who did that all the time? Mr. Benson.
yeah, so you know the NBA in and out, so that and you watch it more. But I got that from a college ref, that rule.
Mm-hmm.
The first time it ever, they tell you, like, all right, we're going to do quirky stuff tonight. You shoot an air ball from the three-point line, you go catch it. Walk, self-pass, no, it's a shot attempt. It's from anywhere on the floor. It could be a shot attempt. You can get your own rebound without it touching anything. So it is what it is.
Ooh.
But different in the NBA, and that's why they clarified it slipped out of his hand. So I think blown call. And they covered their ass saying it slipped out of his hand.
Yeah, that's fair. Thank you for the clarification. World Series prop odds. I got a MVP odd that's really jumping out.
Who do you like?
Marcus Semien plus 1,600.
That's a good.
Like you got Seager plus 480, Garcia plus 550, and then jumps to Marte Carroll, who probably would win if the Diamondbacks win. But Semien,
I see him in the 14 to 16 range. That makes sense.
Yeah, like he obviously Garcia is on the hot streak. You probably give the edge to Seager overall, especially due to his playoff dominance that he's had. But Semien certainly has the chance to come in here, bat 400, pop 4 home runs, and walk away with this.
Of course he does. He's one of the best infielders in all of baseball. He's been ice cold all playoffs. That's absolutely true. He's definitely. But who's to say he won't heat up and go off? He's very talented. That's a smart placement.
Plus 1,600.
A lot of different things. You got fun ones. Any game to go into go into extra innings. Plus 110. Somebody to throw a no-hitter in the World Series, 35 to 1. Most home runs, Garcia.
That I know it happened last year. That should be 1,000 to 1. I don't care.
I agree.
It just should be. It's like leading off the Super Bowl with the safety. Like there are no odds high enough for that to happen.
It has happened twice in World Series history.
Yes, I am aware.
I'm just saying. It's not
1,000 to 1.
I know it's crazy.
World Series most hits. Corey Seager, Marcus Semien 7 to 1. Corbin Carroll. You can get most RBIs, most total bases, most team hits, most team home runs. You got player matchups. World Series total games.
This is what interests me, Rico.
Correct score. Diamondbacks sweep 15 to 1. Rangers sweep 9 to 1. There's a lot of different things on here.
The total games is really interesting. This tells me that Vegas thinks that this is going to be a long series. Over 5.5 games, so 6 or 7, obviously, it's minus 190.
Yeah.
So Vegas thinks this is going to go on for a while, which is kind of I think
take.
It is, I guess, but it's just like these teams are really evenly matched. It was just interesting to see kind of Vegas corroborate that.
I liked Smitty's idea of just taking a cold player to win MVP, the one that's been called all playoffs, and Semien. I don't hate Christian Walker plus 1,500.
Me either.
I feel like
that's what the chat's saying.
He's due to break out, and the Rangers are going to toss out 2 lefties at you between Montgomery and Heaney. I'd take a stab at Walker.
That's my pick as well, Phil. Absolutely. You tell me Christian Walker can't go in there, hit 5 home runs this series, get red hot, and go off. Mm-hmm. It could absolutely happen.
Well, we don't have him on the head-to-head. I was looking for.
Also, Chad is saying Gurriel and Longoria have great numbers against Eovaldi overall.
I mean, Longoria's also probably faced Eovaldi.
Yeah, I mean, that could have happened 10 years ago.
Phil, the odds, they like you with that. Most World Series home runs. Garcia at 4 to 1, Seager 4 to 1, Garver at 6 to 1, and Walker is only 9 to 1. He's 4th.
Yeah.
So they like you with that.
I like that play a lot, actually.
He's due to heat up.
And he's a hell of a power hitter.
All right. 15 to 1 for MVP. You can play that.
I was
Norristown, PA,
this.
baby.
I was looking at this. Any World Series game to go to extra innings plus 110.
I saw that off the top. Yeah, it's not a bad one.
I
get nervous with the bad bullpen of the Rangers, though, that the games won't go extra innings, if that makes any sense. I can see them just imploding on themselves.
That makes sense.
You're saying they have a bad bullpen. They had like a sub-2 ERA all playoffs pretty much.
They almost blew the series.
Let me tell you something.
Eddie, what are we talking about here? Did you watch? You watched the LC. I know you did. Like, what did you watch? What just happened?
I watched what happened. And yes, the Rangers bats are what carried them the last 2 games. But up until they kind of imploded at home, like their bullpen was dominant.
They were also horrible all season too. This isn't like a new thing. The Rangers bullpen being bad.
I know, but for you to say that they automatically are just going to shit the bed.
I never said automatically. This is what you do. I never said automatically. I said this is a real potential problem for them. You don't think that's the biggest Achilles heel the Rangers have right now besides Scherzer is this bullpen? The Diamondbacks don't have a single weakness like the Rangers bullpen on their entire roster.
I don't know. They proved it in the playoffs already through multiple games up until the LCS, 2 games. They proved it.
They also
in
had
my
like
mind,
what was
that
the
they
stat about
can.
the blown
It's
saves
the
the
way.
Rangers had. The Rangers had like the
Well,
most.
yeah, they had 33 blown saves and 30 saves, which is incredible that they came out and absolutely shoved in the playoffs.
Yeah, I see both sides of it. To Smitty's point, they've been dealing for the last 2 weeks when the game.
Well, until last week.
So they're running hot. Yeah, they're doing.
They're running cold now, though.
What do you mean?
The Rangers bullpen was shitty in the LCS. They were horrible.
Yeah, but they didn't matter in the last 2 games.
Overall, they've been successful. No.
I don't know.
Yes. I would say yes.
And for the year, they've sucked. So your thing of regression back to the mean makes sense. Like I could completely see both sides. I think right now it's a car running on spare parts. So you're just like, the mechanic tells you, all right, I could fix it for $150, but if you really want to get this thing where it's going to be back to top shape, it's $1,000. You're like, all right, you know what? Band-aid it up. We'll see what happens. It's an old used car. Right now, it's working. We'll see how many miles they get out of it.
The problem is,
See both sides of it. They
Mechanic-
haven't been good for the year. So to your point, they could look like shit real quick. To Smitty's point, sometimes being hot runs well. So that's what they're doing.
but the mechanic told me the same thing about Max Scherzer. So he's only going to go 3 innings on Game 3. Game 4 is, who knows? I don't even know. I guess Heaney's going to start again. He went 1/3 of inning, gave up 3 runs. He's in your bullpen right now, by the way. Like, I don't know how they can mix and match and make it work in Games 3 and 4. That's where I'm really nervous about the Rangers.
I think the real key is the Diamondbacks, first off, have to split. It's probably better, if they take Game 1. But they have to split the 2 out there in Texas. Or not out there, but in Texas. Mm-hmm. And then Fat is the real X factor because if it's 1-1, you're going back home. And he's basically been lights out. Yeah. Great prospect. But, I mean, you called him. There wasn't much expectation with him coming into the playoffs. So how does he do? Fat really is the X factor. They get great games out of Fat, or at least one in Game 3. It really shapes how the series is going to go. Because even with Philly, what game did Fat start for Philly? 3, right?
3
so it's the
7.
same thing. So they were dead for 3, and they were up against it with 7, and he got them into big spots. So Fat is the X factor.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how the Diamondbacks play. And Meek, you said this against the Rangers, who ended up pulling it out, when adversity is against them or for them, and it's starting to matter because they played with house money all year and they're the underdogs. What happens when they get up 1-0, 2-0, 2-1 in this series? Because you're no longer really playing with house money. You're trying to win it all. And what happened to the Phillies last year in the World Series is they fucking clenched up really hard when they were up 2-1. They got fucking no hit and couldn't do dick in games after 4, 5, and 6. So it's going to be interesting to see how Arizona tries to respond to winning.
I would say look at a little bit of their personalities though. Do they have the cliche rah-rah guy? The dugout home run celebration guy? Do they have the guy making a lot of waves in the press? Sure seems like they got a lot of poker players. I mean, the guys were in here and you couldn't rattle them for shit. That's not me sucking their dick. That's what they said. They said we keep it pretty even keeled.
That's been their temperament all year.
They were yapping after they beat the Phillies, which they had 100% rights to do so. But I don't know. It's a little different when nobody expects you to win, and then all of a sudden you're put in a position where you're up 2-0 and you're fucking expected to win it.
I guess, but there's also I know you keep pointing to the Phillies last year, but the '90 Reds, they were no one's all day and they swept the A's. There's plenty of underdogs that have won without getting their asses all.
Also had the help from the quake, but
that was '89. 90 was not.
There are no aftershocks
in Cincinnati. I don't think so. Not when it happens in San Francisco. No.
California.
Yes.
The fault line.
Yes. It was
San Fernando Valley.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Let me tell you about Omaha Steaks real quick, and we'll get back to this, and then the NFL to round it out. Fall is in the air, and that means we're looking forward to crisp mornings, falling leaves, and sweater weather. More importantly, it's the perfect time for fall grilling, tailgating, and cozy comfort food. Omaha Steaks has all your fall cravings covered with 50% off site-wide during their semi-annual sale. That's 50% off all of your favorite tender, juicy, extra-aged steaks like their butcher's cut filet mignons. Go to omahasteaks.com today and use code PICKS at checkout and get an extra $30 off your order. With Omaha Steaks, the possibilities are endless. Endless flavor and endless value. on incredible entrees, scrumptious sides, decadent desserts, and more. Omaha Steaks equals the world's best beef, naturally aged for the ultimate in tenderness, juiciness, and flavor. Every steak and every entree is flash frozen, vacuum sealed, and ready when you want to grill, all backed by their unconditional 100% money-back guarantee. With 50% off site-wide, it's the perfect time to grab fall grilling favorites. Cozy comfort meals, decadent desserts, and so much more. Plus, you'll save an extra $30 off when you use promo code PICKS at checkout. And every purchase is backed by their unconditional money-back guarantee. Simply go to omahasteaks.com and shop the semi-annual sale today. One kind of we'll finish baseball, actually, real quick. Okay. So, prediction, if you had to, Smitty.
I go Rangers in 6, and I don't like that one bit. Don't trust me. Don't bet on it. I'm not betting on it. That's just a prediction.
I'm going to say the Diamondbacks in 6. I think it's difficult for a team to win both in 7. So I'm going to say Diamondbacks in 6.
I'm going to say Diamondbacks in 7. And I hate saying that because very rarely do we get a 7-game series. And I know we just got 2 in the LCS, but 7-game series are rare. I just think having to pitch Scherzer twice is going to be what dooms the Rangers.
Yeah, but Scherzer also started Game 7 against the Astros.
And he stunk.
He was horrible, Smitty. Like, I know they won the game, but he was terrible.
You can't be, as a Met fan, rooting for the Rangers. You cannot.
No. No.
Because here's the thing.
No.
If DeGrom went out, I actually would be rooting for DeGrom to go get his ring because it would show he made the right choice. He's like, all right, I can't get it here. I gave you everything I had. I'm not wasting away my prime. And truth be told, the Rangers went and did the right thing. Like, they're winning without one of the best pitchers on the planet.
Yeah.
DeGrom has produced nothing for them. Literally
6 starts.
Nothing. So they had the team. They had the goods. They sold them on the pitch. The recruiting worked. I would work if he was out there dealing. I'd be like, sucks. Breaks our heart. He was the guy who's supposed to win it. The fact that he's got nothing and it's a Fugazi ring, now I'm like not rooting for it. Also, Scherzer, like, fuck him. That's where I'm at too.
And the Diamondbacks have 2 former Mets that are not in bad spaces with them. With Paul Sewald, I like that guy, and Tommy Pham.
Yep.
Paul Sewald was in a very. You've seen the Frank videos of Paul Sewald in 2019.
Yeah, but
he's not a
so good. He turned his life around.
Figured it out.
Good for him. He beat the
got away
Fleming
from
curse.
the Mets and turned into an all-star closer. Good for him.
Yeah.
Who's the one player you wish the Mets didn't let go?
Oh, Zach Wheeler.
Yeah, 100%.
1,000%. I mean, that's easy.
Okay.
It's not even a question. I mean, I think I've told you that 10,000 times every time I see you. I tell you.
And it hurts even more because of all the guys. They were like, all right, we can lose Wheeler, and they just cast them off. Like they were more in on DeGrom, which is probably right. They're more in on Harvey. They were in on Matz for a little bit longer. It felt like, or maybe we lost them both.
Absolutely, no, they were way more in on.
Wheeler was like, whatever, you can go. Like.
And
Noah, we were in on him.
And Wheeler is going to have more career wins than all of them.
Maybe
when it's all said and done.
Maybe combined.
But in the Mets' defense, he's coming off of 2 Tommy Johns.
Right.
Didn't really. I mean, he always had ace stuff. But
you couldn't pay all of them. Yeah. In fair, you couldn't pay all of them. So, but it's the Mets not evaluating their talent. So that's where they're at.
Wait, can I just get my World Series?
Of course,
pick?
yeah.
I got Snakes in 7, and I'll have a prediction. Top of the 9th inning in Game 7 will be first and second, 1 out, and Gabby Moreno will get the game-winning hit in a tie game. A little flare over first base.
I like
exact same thing. All right, I like
that, Phil. I like that we're on the same page with this. That's got to mean something.
Complete.
And for the record, I picked Rangers in 6. But I am rooting for the Diamondbacks. I'm not rah snakes alive rooting, but I do hope the Diamondbacks win over.
Well, yeah, we don't want you as a lifelong fan. We don't want you on the bandwagon. So
that's fair.
Full disclosure,
you got John Rich.
Yes.
I cannot believe the D-backs are actually playing this series after what the Phillies did the first 2 games of the D-backs.
Crazy.
Like, it's insane.
Crazy.
Sorry, Smitty.
Yep.
No, I mean it is what it is. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
More so what the Phillies did in Game 5 also.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, I could see the series, like, the Diamondbacks taking a stranglehold on it. You guys roughed up the best pitcher on the planet, win away from home. Now you go to the bank. Like, it's over.
I don't know. Game 4 was that series because they got spanked. Gallen got shelled, and then 10-0. And then Game 3, you can see like a letdown game from the Phillies, especially the bats, which is what it was. Game 4, if I were to guarantee any win possible since the beginning of time, that was a Phillies win. And they were up 5-2 in the seventh.
That was the crazy one, yeah.
You knew they had to win because you knew they didn't want to face Gallen. You knew they wanted to, at minimum get it in 6. Like it's just that game was the fuck up game.
One last thing I like about the Diamondbacks, I get kind of a Herb Brooks, Bill Belichick, Torey Lovullo kind of vibe with those 3 guys in that the manager is the one doing the talking. I've seen a lot of stuff from Torey Lovullo. The players have been pretty quiet this week, and I think that's like a smart way to do it. I feel like all the spotlight's on him. That way the players can just go out and play. They're not saying anything stupid. They're not really saying anything at all. And then if they win, just like we saw with the LCS, then they'll talk. But until then, they're letting Torey Lovullo talk, and I think that's pretty wise.
Smitty, you didn't think Game 3 was more of an impact? 2-1. Diamondbacks again didn't do any. So now for 18 innings, or I think that game went extras. Did it go extras? Am I crazy? Game 3?
No.
I don't think
Oh,
so.
all right. So in the 9th. All right. It was tight late though. For 18 innings, basically, you've held them for a combined 1 run.
Yeah.
Or 2 runs, whatever it ended up turning out. Well, no, they won on the walk-off. So yeah, 18 innings, 1 run up to that point. Like you could take a stranglehold 3-0. I think 3 just as much as 4 was a tough one as well.
Yeah, it was tough, but I know how this team plays and acts. I know that the bats would fall more than the pitching. I knew they do shit against rookie pitchers for whatever reason. I knew there was a possibility they came out in 3 flat. But I also knew that they are the ultimate vibes and comeback team, especially when they get punched in the mouth. That's why Game 4, I thought it was going to be another 10-0 rout because they would come out that hot and ready to go.
Makes sense.
And once Game 4 happened, then it's like, oh shit, we're actually in a series, and we're in trouble.
Makes sense. All right, NFL. Phil, you could load them up if you want. 888. Give me the number.
22 stool.
22 stool. Stool 22.
888-786-6522.
6522. Load them up if you want. NFL, some college. I do. Oh, sick. Barstool Radio starts soon. I do have this kind of big picture, real 1-sentence college. I still say we haven't got the crazy Saturday yet with a ton of upsets. I don't know if this is the one, but mark my words, there's always one where you're looking at that graphic at 9 o'clock on a Saturday night at the bar, and it goes number 1 lost, number 4 lost, number 6 lost, number 8 lost, number 3 lost. Like the whole top 10 shifts. So a lot of upsets, but we'll see. I'm waiting to see what that real shakeup will be in college. And 6 pretty good games, but next week obviously is bigger with Alabama, LSU, and stuff like that. All right, we'll start hometown for us anyway. Jets 3-point favorite, going to the Giants. Giants with the home field doesn't mean much. Over under 36.5. Pass, play, or lock it in terms of what you have.
This is my pick of the week. I had the Jets I got a minus 2.5, but I think this is the Jets defense is really going to expose the Giants passing issues, which are severe. I think this is if the Jets don't win this game, then we're really fucked. So I think especially coming off a bye, this lines up perfectly for the Jets.
Is this an alternate under to the minimum?
I could see
22.
Hold your nose. I'm taking the under as well. It's worked out last week in a similar number. Both defenses. I think Daboll's may have found something. A lot of pride. I can see this game being real chippy. Not a lot of guys taking shots. Conserve the ball. Play defense. I think it's hold your nose with the under. 36.5 is gross, but that's the way I'm going.
How do you like your team?
We'll be fine.
Yeah. Think you can win?
Listen, depends what Zach Wilson does and comes out and does. Because like you could say, is Tyrod Taylor starting again? Most likely. So he's not going to look great. Like, is Zach Wilson going to be Tyrod Taylor, or is he going to take the next leap up to what is Zach Wilson kind of has been? You never know. I mean, you don't know what he's going to do. He's just
Does he even need to take that leap to win this game?
Probably not, but he's not. But more so, can he make the mistakes that Zach Wilson does to keep us in it or give us the game? Which you know is a possibility.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
So that's fact.
Now, prepare for Chris Clemmer's ejaculation here, Rico, but this is a Breece Hall game.
Yeah?
Big time.
Oh, Phil.
Yeah, this is like 180 yards, 2 TDs for him, I think.
Yeah. That's where it's at.
Did you guys see that fucking bullshit? That bullshit by the guy on Tiki and Evan Roberts' show, the producer, who went at Zach Wilson for going to Utah to Appleton, acting like he was on the banana boat with Carmelo Anthony in fucking Miami
on a bye week.
Yeah, it was like Zach Wilson going to Utah is the safest thing that he can do during his week
Yes.
off. So his girlfriend can meet his family. Like, I'm trying to pull it up.
Yeah, the going after guys when they're doing it safe is tough.
Yeah, like it's also it's not like it was a bye week. What are we doing?
That's a big stretch.
It's not tough. It's just weird. Why?
It's
Why are you going after him?
Yeah, you grasp.
Yeah, even Will Compton was like, everyone who has a bye week, you go away unless you're hurt, and you can't. Like
Right.
everyone goes away.
Yeah, you do something. Yeah, so that's tough. Yeah, I think you're grasping for straws.
Issue with Zach. What's the problem?
Zach Wilson, in what is about to be the biggest stretch of his career,
who is
decided it
this?
was a good time to take his girlfriend to Utah to apple and pumpkin pick and go to a
No, he
haunted
wanted
house.
to meet the family, man.
He's a professional athlete. The family could fly to New York and New Jersey. I'm sorry. The Jets stink after buys. Zach Wilson's season last year derailed after a bye.
Yeah.
I believe 52 guys could have gone and visited families. The quarterback, the leader, needs to be at that or around that facility all week last week. And Zach Wilson has not done enough to get his ass on a plane with his girlfriend to go to Utah for a week.
My quarterback is going to kick your ass on Sunday.
Boy, I don't know. The last time I remember a quarterback about to face the Giants with a visit out of their area to Pound Town,
Don't
let's call it,
compare the Tony Romo,
was
Jessica
Tony
Simpson.
Romo with Jessica Simpson combo. How did that work out? The focus needs to be in the film room, Evan, the weight room, the study room.
Utah is very different than Cabo.
Yes.
Yeah, that was irrational. You
can't even
got
get
me
a
to
fucking
support
beer
Zach
in
Wilson.
Utah.
Okay.
You pulled it off.
Good job.
You Jet fans.
Sean Marash.
So
That's
yeah,
who it
I think
was?
that
Okay.
he's the producer. I think
Yeah,
he's like,
see, I know a lot of those guys. I haven't heard.
yeah, I think he used to be with like Bet Something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Moved his way up.
That Tony Romo
There-
comp
there-
makes a lot of sense.
There is no more of an antiquated old man yells at cloud take than players need to be watching film or in the weight room 24/7.
Bringing up something
Like,
from
do
20
they need
years
to be?
ago. Don't fuck a moron.
Yeah, do they need to be doing that? Yes. Do they need to be doing it 24/7? Give me a fucking break. Get out of here.
Dubes loves it. Look at him.
Yeah, he's very proud of himself.
Went above everyone else's head.
Very proud of himself. I'm sure they called it in the chat.
Yeah,
Can we get some L Dukes in the chat, please?
I'm just happy this glass protected me right now.
There you go. Exactly. All right. Let's run through these or let's instead of listing them kind of off. What are your feels in terms of the NFL, Smitty? Something you love? How'd you do last week of what you loved? Didn't you hammer something? You had a real strong take on something. Were you on the Ravens? Marty was on the Ravens.
No,
I
I like the Lions.
You like the Lions?
I did too, Smitty. Not a
All
lot.
right, so we'll start with you. Coldest
I
in
was
the room.
I was all baseball last week, for the most part. What interests me a lot this week is, and it's a shit game, which sucks, is how the Texans are going to come out against the Panthers. Like, this is one of the few times the Panthers actually have a chance to win a game in my mind. And you see Stroud against Bryce, and Panthers actually step it up. I think Panthers money line isn't the worst take here, and that's disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting. I am upset with myself and absolutely angry at myself for even suggesting that. But Panthers, I think the Panthers could squeeze one by the Texans this week.
Plus 150, by the way, the money on there.
Yeah.
All right. I like the Jaguars minus the 2.5 because I think that they can read. They're not going to overlook the Steelers now. Tomlin is a dog. He burnt me last week. Pickett's great. They got that team obviously going. But I think Jacksonville's reading the room here of the AFC of, man, we could be the 2. And shit, if the Chiefs go cold for 3 weeks or there's an injury, maybe we could be the 1. I think Jacksonville is reading that they've separated. Now, Buffalo's down. Early in the year, obviously, Rodgers went down. Jets are lower in that picture. The Jaguars are now looking like we can really make some damage here in the AFC. And I want to pull up their schedule because their division stinks. So I also think it helps. They're going into a bye, and then coming off the bye, they got the 49ers. So, that's difficult as well. This is one you got to win. It'd be real great to have – be 5 they started the year 1-2. It would be now 5 in a row going into a bye, then the 49ers, which you're probably going to lose. Coming out of that, The rest of that schedule, Titans, Texans, Bengals, Browns, Ravens, Bucks, Panthers, Titans, like pretty easy. Got to go get your wins where you can get them. I think the Steelers is a spot that they can do it. 2.5, I'll take that. And I also am now probably in a position where I'm an asshole because I'm chasing my tail. What have I been wrong on? And I told you guys, punch me in the face if I ever do it again. Saints overs, right? I'm taking a Saints. I'm taking a Saints under. I'm taking a Saints under 43.5 against a Colts team who couldn't stop anybody last week. I think the Colts come out with a better effort. Colts defense wasn't pathetic coming into that game. Saints defense pretty good. Give me the under 43.5. I already hate it.
We're at odds. I have the Saints over 22.5 points as a team.
Fine, they can win 24-0. I don't care.
Minus 108.
Helps my Super Bowl pick.
Yeah, I like the Saints over here because the Colts defense has been so atrocious. It's been so bad. And I have to believe the Saints team can eventually figure it out. They have so many weapons. Kamara, Thomas, they have to score against somebody eventually. So I'm taking the Saints over 22.5 points.
All right.
You boys wanted to know a shocking, also disgusting one that the money is all over this week. 93% of the money and 63% of the bets, including all of the sharp action, all of it is on the Packers at home plus 1.5 against the Vikings.
Well, interdivision home dog. Packers interdivision home dog, right?
Yeah. Coming
I
off
got
a
away
loss
from
against...
that. I got away from that this year. I'm interested to see how it has been doing.
Yeah.
But I fucked up.
I mean, Packers coming off a loss, obviously, is dreadful against the Broncos away. Vikings just got off a huge win at home against the 49ers. Look, it's disgusting. It's disgustipating, but the sharps all over it. They know something that we don't.
Yeah. So that's where you're at, Clemmer. Best bets.
Yeah,
Or
I have one more here. Yeah, and tell me if I'm crazy or not. I have the Bengals plus 4. It's in San Francisco. The Niners have been horrible lately. Bengals coming off a bye. They've been playing really well. I really like the Bengals. Maybe I'm insane for doing this. I'm definitely nervous about this game, but I think the Bengals plus 4 is a good play.
I would venture to say it's a public dog, though. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad. I just feel like a lot of people are buying that same rationale.
Maybe you're right. I mean, it would fit my square,
It's just more so like Burrow as a dog. People like Burrow. Yeah. 49ers haven't looked great in the last couple of weeks.
Do you want the numbers?
Being a primetime game.
Smitty, you have the numbers?
Is Purdy still on concussion protocol? There are no money numbers, which means the bets are pretty equal.
I see something different. I see 74% of the bets on Bengals, 80% of the money on Bengals.
I'm seeing 59% on the Niners, 41% of the Bengals.
All the numbers just depends on the app.
Yeah.
You can't really get anything definitive.
Right.
Yeah, the app that I'm using, nada on it, but it wouldn't surprise me. I got a hammer play of the week.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolute hammer. Cowboys minus 6.5 at home against the Rams. This is a perfect game for the Cowboys to come out, stomp down on a okay team that might be a fraud, and everybody after this week you're going to be like, oh, are the Cowboys back? Are they a Super Bowl contender? This fits into the Cowboys bullshit storyline to a T. Cowboys win by 3 scores.
I don't hate that pick, Smitty.
Okay.
In Dallas too. Yeah, you're right. This is quintessential Cowboys, I feel like.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there anybody you look at as like a real outright dog?
Yeah, the Patriots.
You got the Dolphins, huh? At Miami? Okay.
Do you think, let's be honest, dudes, do you think that they can actually repeat and continue to build on that offensive success last week, or is that one and done?
I don't know who is.
Be honest.
I will be honest. I will put, obviously I was saying that like a little bit as a joke, but they did change up the offensive line, and they made adjustments that looked against the Bills, which I'm taking with a grain of salt, looked very good for 1 week. Obviously, you can't we'll see it over the next couple of weeks, but the secondary's coming together. J.C. Jackson's quietly been really good again. He's he's given up less than 90 yards receiving this year, so we got Jack Jones back. Secondary's going to be very good. Yeah, I think the offensive line is just the biggest question mark, but the Dolphins are a really good football team.
9.5's a big number.
Big number. Big number. I mean, somebody had this hypothetical. I'm actually curious to see. You guys are not biased like me. if the Patriots somehow went out, would Mac Jones be in the MVP argument?
He absolutely would.
He would.
Yeah.
I am
was a
biased.
fun
Battle off. Get 2 in a row, and then you can start this again.
Of course. So I think Cody said it to me outside. I was like, "That's so crazy." I was like, I like the hypothetical. Would he win comeback player of the year and be the first player to win comeback player of the year for the shitty year that he had in the beginning?
Yeah. That's good. You got 15 seconds because you got the 1 win. Next week we can bump that to 30, and then the more and more wins you get in a row, we will add time to it. Is that fair?
So fair.
Fine.
The Patriots monologue brought to you by Dukes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
I also didn't have Monday to talk about the Patriots.
Fair enough.
True, he did. Yeah.
Fair enough.
They went for them.
All right, let's run through these calls and kind of round it out, and you can give plays for tonight. Kyle wants to talk about the Rangers. Nice to have hockey on a Friday. Kyle, go ahead.
No, it's definitely not hockey. I'm calling about the Rangers. This is where Bochy's is brought in to win the ring, and I'm taking the Rangers -1.5. And also, Dukes for your New England letdown spot, Dolphins by 15.
Doubling down on Patriots now.
I do like that's a good point by the caller. Bochy is an exceptional manager.
Weren't you in on him like in the beginning of the year, Smitty?
Who? Bochy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was the underrated storyline of the year that nobody talked
You
about.
said he was a sleeper.
Nobody.
Yeah, you said he's a sleeper. Yeah, I remember
Absolutely,
that very early.
The best manager of this century.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick, if you're doing Survivor this week, we already touched on how the Chargers are going to be absolutely hammered, but might be a questionable play. I still think they win. One team that you really have to be careful with this week, Baltimore at Arizona. Just watch out for Baltimore.
Who do you trust? Miami?
I do trust Miami. I trusted Buffalo last night. If you have balls and think you're leaning towards an Indianapolis, or if you like Atlanta against Tennessee and want to take them, or want to take a Houston, if you really believe in them, like that's how you win these Survivor pools.
I actually I had a good take last week. It was a double pick. I liked the Giants. I'm like, we should take a look at the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you win. That's how you win these things.
But I did love I also was saying the Rams should be on a lot more lines, too. So it is what it is.
Dallas, Kansas City, unless you want to save them, and Buffalo, Miami. And I'm still going to hold my nose and take the Chargers.
How about the Lions?
No other...
Lions Monday.
Oh, and the Lions. The Lions are pretty much a lock.
The Raiders.
But you can use them in better spots.
You're right.
The Chargers, that's the problem with Survivor. You can't use the Chargers again.
No,
afterwards.
and that's why it's great. You know that going in, and we're probably taking Miami. The guys, the big one I'm in, splitting. I'm taking Miami, and I'm praying that the Chargers lose. And then weirdly, I like the Lions, but if it comes down to it, people still have the Lions Monday. I'm rooting for the Raiders as well. So just keep chopping and chopping and chopping. That's how it goes.
Yeah, I just don't see the Raiders.
What? I'm pretty sure we're in for the Dolphins, yeah. Sam, college football.
Yeah, Rico, I was calling in for college football, and I have a play for this afternoon.
All right.
So college football, you heard it here first. Missouri is going to win the SEC East. They got Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, and Arkansas. I think they could beat all 4 of them.
Tennessee to win that side?
No, Missouri.
Oh, shit. I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Think they're going to beat Georgia? I get it. Georgia's prime for the taking. But, yeah, it's a tall task. We'll see. I guess it makes sense. If you think they can win all 4, place it before the stretch. Now, I don't hate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And my one play, I know you're not a soccer guy, but under 2.5 goals, Tottenham versus Crystal Palace this afternoon.
We love that. Every soccer game that's ever been played has been under 2.5 goals. So I will always support guys playing 2.5 goals.
The under.
Enjoy your 3.5 hours with 1 goal, buddy. Enjoy it. Great call, Sam. Thank you. Bo from New York has Lincoln Riley take. Bo.
What's up, guys? Rico, firstly, want to apologize for that Texas first half bet last week. That was an all-time bad beat. I don't know if you're following that.
I personally played it. I personally played it late when I was adding some things. So, yeah, you fucked me because they were up big and then they gave it away. So, yeah, it's your fault.
Oh, my God. Horrible. Yep, I'll take the blame for that one. But Lincoln Riley talk. So, you want him to be the Chargers head coach?
No,
I've got a question.
no, I don't. I literally was throwing out names.
Okay, but regardless, I've got a question for you. Since Lincoln Riley's since Lincoln Riley's been a head coach in college football, who's his college basketball coaching comp?
Ooh, shit.
Because I've got a good one.
All right, so just give me an amount of years he was at Oklahoma.
So he started in 2017.
And he made one playoff or two?
I think it's 3.
Playoffs?
I think he's 0-3 in the playoffs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll give you this one. Shaka Smart with the Final Four run early for him, or more so because he's had multiple playoffs, Brad Stevens.
Okay.
2 Final
I'm gonna
Fours.
go.
2 Final Fours, hot start. People look at the way he's, with the changing the game or his style. Brad Stevens, you could say that. Lincoln Riley, you could say that. Yeah, I think off the top of my head, Brad Stevens.
All right. I think there's a better one, and I think you're going to like this. I think he is, if you line him up since 2017, he is John Calipari for various reasons.
Yeah, but you can't say that because Calipari, Lincoln Riley he didn't have 25 years before the experience.
But they both bring the hype. Calipari gets lottery picks. Riley wins Heisman's. At the end of the day, their teams every year, since 2017. The last great Kentucky basketball team was that 2015 team.
Yep.
It's just all fraudulent teams. It's all fraudulent teams, but you go there, he'll win you Heisman's. They play no defense. Kentucky teams are severely fraud and flawed. But you know what? You go there, you're a top 15 pick in the draft.
Yeah, it makes sense.
The similarities are
from that span. Yeah, not his whole career. I thought you were trying to give the whole.
Not his whole career. Not his whole career.
It makes sense. It's good. It's relative within the year span.
What about Bill? I was trying to think of a point guard whisperer, but the only thing I could think of was Bill Self and how he develops centers. Like how Riley develops quarterbacks.
But Self teams win. Teams win.
No, I hear you. That's why the championship it wouldn't work out. But I was trying to think of is there anybody else that I'm missing that made a run?
Dukes is not off, and I like Bill Self, and we collected a national championship together at 9-1.
Congratulations, Rico.
And 13-1 in 2022.
Congrats, Bosco.
But Self, to that point, did have a lot of great teams in the regular season, and didn't have such great tournament success. A lot of first-round exits, second-round exits, so I could see that comparison as well with Self and Lincoln Riley. That makes sense.
Is there a guard whisperer? If you're a guard, what coach do you go to? I can't think of one.
Well, Calipari's had some pretty good point guards.
I guess it is Calipari. I was trying to think
I got one.
Penny, but he doesn't.
No, I got one.
Who?
I got one. Jay Wright.
That's a good one.
Yeah, championships though. That's what I thought you were going to say originally.
Well, guard. Yeah, just guard whisperer in general. That makes sense.
If Lincoln Riley If Lincoln Riley were to go to coach the Chargers, the Calipari comp works because Calipari was once a young coach who went to the Sixers.
Yep. Nets.
Nets. Excuse me. Got Keith Van Horn. You're absolutely right.
He was bench coach for the Sixers for a while.
Was he? I thought he went right from UMass. Didn't he go right?
No, he was under Larry Brown in 01.
No, but Calipari was coaching before that. He was the head coach before that.
Not with the Sixers.
No, the Nets. Rigo corrected me. He was right.
He was the head coach for the Nets.
Yes. He drafted Van Horn.
In 01, I don't think he was with the Sixers.
Not Van Horn. No.
He was with the
He was with the Sixers for some point under Larry Brown because
I think you're right.
People thought that he was going to be the next
That's why I got confused.
coach under Brown.
Look that up.
And then he was with UMass in the 90s.
Look that up.
Because he threatened to kill John Chaney.
All right. Because I'm gonna give you a timeline.
Or John Chaney threatened to kill him.
We played in the Nationals, the 13 and under Nationals, or the 12 and under Nationals.
Not a big deal.
When I was in AAU, they were in Memphis, Tennessee, and John Calipari spoke to the entire gym as the new coach
So-
in Memphis. So that was
so he-
2000, 2001. So I don't know when he would have been on.
I got it. Smitty's right.
I got it. 1988 to 1996, head coach of UMass. 1996 to 99, head coach of the Nets. 99, 2000,
Got it.
assistant for the Sixers.
Yep.
2000, 2009, head coach, Memphis.
Got it. So that's the year in between. So, okay. Makes sense.
I forgot he was head coach of the Nets before.
But if Lincoln Riley went to the Chargers, wouldn't that be it's a pretty good comp?
Makes sense. Yeah, I don't, again, I don't know if Lincoln Riley's the guy. I'm just throwing out names. And I think if you sold me on, like if I was in the room, or you look, if you're a Chargers fan, like what's the pitch? All right, you're going to have this guy, Lincoln Riley, who has great success with quarterbacks. We're going to bring him in. I'm going to go get Kingsbury, who's only going to help me with quarterback play based on what he's done. Like, we'll get him in there. And then I'm obviously going to commit to the defense. I could see that working for a guy with Herbert with generational talent. Just saying.
Calipari has a 759 winning percentage.
College?
Yeah, I think that's overall, which includes probably when he was shitty with the Nets, which makes it even more impressive.
Yeah.
He got the Nets to the playoffs, didn't he, one year?
He's got almost as many Final Fours as he has taken away, so credit to John. Phil from Rochester to end it. Phil, what do you got?
Gentlemen, how are you today?
Good.
Good. Rico, I wanted to congratulate you on taking the first shot in the battle for the soul of Barstool over the thermostat.
Thank you.
America stands behind you, of course. And Smitty, I have an offer for you. I have a question, if that's okay, sir.
Sure. Shoot.
So I know Big Ev's going to Dave Portnoy's house to watch the Ohio State-Michigan game. I feel you should go with him.
Right.
I feel you should go with him and stand by your Pick Central man.
Hey,
Go into the Dragon Slayer, slay the dragon, Smitty.
Put it this
And
way.
then one bite refuse the Thanksgiving dinner.
Put it this way. I heard the Cousins are going to be down there. I'm sure it'll be a lovely time. If I'm asked to do anything, not only that, but with Barstool, I am going to do it. So if I'm invited, I will be there. But no, I will not force my way into that situation. What are you, fucking nuts?
Good plan. Yeah, imagine just knocking at the door. You show up with an apple pie.
Yeah, that's nice.
Be like, where'd you get this? Oh, I traveled with it from Philly. It's like, oh, good. It's nice and stale. Yeah, I got you. So
Cousin Mike and Linda would love it.
They would.
What else?
They would.
Not so much.
Rico, I do want to say that when I got to the office today, the thermostat was at 73.
Yeah, I think it's a little hot. It's not an everyday thing. We'll see what's going on.
I don't know what happened, but what happened overnight? I feel like there's sabotage.
Hot, man. It's hot. It's hot. We'll see. Yesterday that was the first sign of the battle. Everyone sharpening their knives.
I feel like someone's cutting your legs out under you.
I think some people are jumping ship. I think we got some sissies. I think we got some guys going Viva our stance, and they're not doing it. So we'll see. Smitty, plays tonight, please.
I got nothing. Oh no, I don't have nothing tonight. I have over in the son of a bitch. I'm on Stephen Chase. Trust the process.
Yeah, all right.
Or trust the data. And I am on over in the
World Series.
No, under in the World Series and over in. Oh God, I really like this play too. Capitals game 6.5. Who are they playing? Over in Capitals, Minnesota. Boom, 6.5. Lock it in.
Okay. Diamondbacks money line for me tonight.
And I have Gallen and Eovaldi both going 15.5 outs or more. And if you really want to be smart, you might want to wait a day and then jump on the Diamondbacks money line. If the Diamondbacks lose today, that line could be crazy, and then you could really. But I'm not that smart. I'm not that brave either.
Marcus Semien plus 1,600 MVP.
Oh, I like that.
Right.
Yeah, Christian Walker.
Fire it up. Dukes, best bet of the weekend.
I was looking at this. Can I have your help with this?
Yeah.
So let me look at the games again. There was one. I love Charlotte tonight. I switched from the AFU, so I like Charlotte a lot. Do you guys Kentucky or Tennessee?
No play.
I'm thinking Air Force potentially.
I like them as well, but they burned me last week because I wanted to take that over against Navy. But if the main quarterback is back, Air Force has been running it up. Colorado State does not have a great run defense. I could see Air Force piling it on. A lot of turnovers last week. I watched that game against Navy.
Fuck it. I'm giving 3 more to locks this week.
Okay, what do you got?
I'm going Kentucky,
right?
Charlotte, Air Force.
In. All right. That's Pick Central. We will see you on Monday.
Wait.
Wait.